Welcome everyone, my name is Jacob. Thank you for joining me. In a previous video, we take a look at the top pieces of gear that helped me in a recent solo backcountry elk hunt out west. In this video, we're looking at some of the pieces of gear and some things that might have helped make that experience a little bit better, or pieces of gear that we just simply didn't need. One of the things that I would have liked to have had, and I should have brought, and I even knew it beforehand because I had looked at the motor vehicle use maps and I did quite a bit of e-scouting, and a bike would have been helpful, especially for the first couple days. I was in an area that had a little bit of pressure at campgrounds, trailheads, parking lots or whatever, and a bike would have helped me get away from some of that pressure very quickly. There were other roads that were closed to sort of ATV or bike or foot traffic, and that's where a bike would have been helpful. And of course, when you're in these areas, there's not a bike shop that's like a few miles away. It's several hours away if you want to go purchase a bike. So keep that in mind as you do your own solo backcountry elk hunts. Secondly, my water system in some ways failed. This is a Sawyer filter. I've used this several times and found out that this has probably been overused and was ready to be pitched and replaced. And I didn't check that, and shame on me. Now, I did have backup water system options as a SteriPen and a Life Straw filter that's contained within a bottle. But this failed, and I would encourage you to keep track of, keep track of your water system and test it before you leave. One of the other things that failed was this headlamp. This is it's an F-Toyen headlamp from Amazon. It looks exactly like a Peaks headlamp. And when I got there, this was going to be one of the ones I used. It did not work. And I'm pretty sure I had tested it and charged it beforehand, and it didn't work. And the Peaks headlamp did perform phenomenally well, but shame on me for relying on something that I ordered for $9 or $10 off of Amazon. The other thing, my bino harness. I really like this. It works out well. It's very modular. This is Alaska Guide Creations. But one of the things that I did not like about this bino harness is that when I pull out my binos, and it doesn't make it that sound now, but it would tend to squeak as I pulled the binos out. And that was something that I wasn't ready for. And now, it's not doing it now, but when I was there, it would make a squeak. And of course, any noise at all is not something that you want out of your gear. Camp shoes. I brought these. I carried these for miles and miles and miles. I never used them. It was a waste of weight. I shouldn't have brought them, and maybe I'll do something different next time that's lighter, or maybe I won't bring camp shoes at all, but that was a waste of time. Food. I packed these bags. I would pack it for 3,000 calories. Now, this is way more than that, but ultimately, I never even came close to eating a full bag of food. I ate probably 1,500 calories during the day and maybe another 1,000 at night, and I probably got to 25 to somewhere between 2 and 2,500 calories a day, and my body was fine with that. I was satiated. Lastly, I've got the Sever broadheads. Now, from a performance standpoint, they perform great, but these bands on here, when there's pressure on top, they can eventually break. And the bands, of course, keep the blades enclosed, and on two of my arrows, the bands ultimately broke. And so I had three broadheads, or three arrows set up with these, and then two fixed blade broadheads. And I just think it's sort of one of those things that when you're hiking and covering ground, there's gonna be pressure on your arrows, and ultimately, I feel like there's probably a hack that somewhere where you could actually maybe not even use a band at all. Maybe use a dot of glue to keep these blades inset so they don't come out. But that's another video for another day. But ultimately, these failed in some capacity because the bands broke during a hiking situation on 2 different sever broadheads. So those are some of the thoughts and some of the feedback on some of the pieces of gear that didn't work for me. Hope you find this helpful. Please like and subscribe, and best of luck this season.